have you watched Emily in Paris? Oh my God. I think if I get into a PR or a marketing agency, this is exactly what it's going to look like. I'm going to meet all these celebrities, these brand owners, CEOs, and I'm going to like be out there. I get to wear glamorous clothes, go to these shows, events. Yeah, I actually really thought it was going to be like that. But once I got into first semester, I was like, okay, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's actually way more strategic than that. I mean, the movies, they try to glamorize every job.
Welcome to another episode of the NexGen show. Today, we talk to Adlyn Daniea. She is a student who is very actively pursuing our industry and seeking knowledge in all spheres. Today, we talk to her and welcome her to our show. Welcome. So, Adlyn, tell us, you majored in marketing and PR.
Yes.
And now you are being exposed to our industry.
Stepping into this working
Stepping into the
industry.
scene, yes. Tell us your experience about your recent internship.
My major is public relations and marketing, right? But I didn't want to like jump into it yet, like specifically PR or marketing. So I eventually went for something that was more niche, I would say, and it's digital communications. At first, I didn't really understand what it meant. I just thought maybe it's a little bit of social media, a little bit of website, but I didn't really know like what it was in depth. And that's when I got into the industry. It was a major industry in the Malaysian household. It's like a big Malaysian household name. So I kind of like finally knew what the whole brand was about, their story and their history by just stepping into an internship position with them. So from there, I kind of found out like that behind communication of like the external facing communication of like a company, there is a lot of people who are like crafting stories to maintain this like heritage. And I just didn't know how important that was yet because I was never like really representing something big. It was always like school clubs, maybe a few social media posts from like a group assignment, for example. So like
Yes.
it was such an eye-opening experience to be sitting behind the laptop and I'm like crafting an article that could be put out into the world and people would read it like this is from this company. And I was like, this is crazy. I'm sitting here.
Well, it's very interesting because advertising and marketing per se
Yeah,
is evolving all the time.
exactly.
And if you're not geared to keep learning daily, you can be quite easily left behind.
True, true.
Adlyn, did you ever thought to yourself that you would be coming into this industry?
Actually, I do see myself in this industry because, okay, in my family, I'm the eldest, and the elder siblings, they usually have, like, hold this high expectation from their parents, don't they? So my dad has been in this industry for, like, I think ever since he was a fresh graduate. So
Okay.
it's his entire career.
Okay.
So he kind of, like, saw me, like, joining him. I don't know for, like, what did he really see in me? Because like I'm from a different course. He's from accounting. I'm from communication. So like, why did he think I would fit into this industry? But I did like fantasize about it. Like, oh wow, imagine I'm like in this field. It's totally something I don't know about, but I would want to like discover how I can communicate for this brand. You know,
What perception do you have about advertising?
about advertising.
Did you think that it was like one glamorous?
Oh,
A lot of people do think that it's about acting and being in the glamour
Yeah,
line.
yeah. I mean, like for me, like PR specifically and PR marketing, you could say, I always thought of it as like, maybe you could say, have you watched Emily in Paris? I think a lot of people like talk about it, like how, oh my God, I think if I get into a PR or a marketing agency, this is exactly what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna meet all these celebrities, these, um, brand owners, CEOs, and I'm gonna like be out there. I get to wear glamorous clothes, go to these shows, events. Yeah, I actually really thought it was gonna be like that. But once I got into first semester, I was like, okay, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's actually way more strategic than that. Like
Yeah.
that was just on the outside, and it's not like an everyday thing. I mean, the movies they try to glamorize every job.
Well, the capital of advertising for a long time has been New York. So
Yes.
that image, spills over into the
Mm-mm.
industry. But it's more than that, like you said. It's a lot about thinking, isn't it?
Right. It's literally like just people working behind the scenes and then they try to push out a message to the rest of the audience. And how do you do that? Is like you have to find the right people, the right strategy. Um, Sometimes you have to like pull a lot of strings from different like um industries to like get something together because communication is not just one industry. It could be like any in any context.
Yes. You mentioned something interesting just now
Yeah.
about stories.
Mm-hmm.
And inevitably, yeah,
Yeah.
whether we like it or not, these stories come about um, based on our past experiences.
Right.
If you have not had a colorful, say, um, experience from young,
Mm-hmm.
and till adulthood, sometimes you are stuck for stories. Of course, there are
Right.
other ways of weaving stories and crafting stories.
Right.
Share with us your life experience so far.
My life experience. Where do I start?
Well, start at the colorful part.
The colorful part. Maybe I could start from high school where I was like navigating where I want to go because like everyone's already thinking about, oh, I want to go into computer science or I want to go into aviation. I had friends who were like, oh, I'm just going to take psychology because that's what I'm studying now. So I was like, okay, I think I want to take mass communication. And I actually went into a career fair that was like held at my school. And I went to all of these universities and I asked them like, do you have any mass communication courses? And a lot of them don't, which is kind of like I was like, huh? Are you serious? Like, what about any other communication, like marketing? And then they were like, oh, that's under business. And I was like, oh, okay. So where do I go now? Because that's something like I thought I would fit into. And I just thought like, okay, maybe it's not my path. And then like I talked a lot with my family, my friends from school and outside school. And then they were like, Adlyn, actually, I think you should stick with mass communication. Okay, you know why? First of all, this is how we see you. Your personality is like this and this. Your interest is like this and that. And I was like, yeah, actually. And then that's when I really started dreaming. I mean, I started watching a lot of content about people who are working in communication. I started to think about um, what I could possibly achieve if I'm in the industry. And I was like, wow, this is so like cool. I want to do all of this if possible. I mean, communication is just one word, but under it, there's like streams of like other places you could go to.
You are right.
Yeah,
A lot of people look at our industry, and of course, it's a business, yeah, just
right.
like any other industry.
Yeah. But I
But
kind of saw my life flash before my eyes in a good way.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, but the intersection of life, and and the industry, there is a sense of satisfaction because
Mm-mm.
um, there is some idea generation there. You get to see your ideas or your work come to life.
Right. The possibilities are like endless, which is what kept me going. And then that's why I would say my most colorful years in my 20 years of life would be from age 17 until now, because there's been so much growth.
If I were to ask you, what are some of the ads that really inspired you? Can you share some observations in that space?
Okay, I'll mention one that I saw yesterday.
Okay.
So this is a ad campaign from Jacquemus, the French handbag, the brand company. Yeah. So basically, in their recent ad campaign, the owner dedicated this bag to his mother. So he wanted to appreciate his mother's personality from when she was alive. She was like poetic. She was beautiful. She was active and very humorous. She was a great mom. And I like that the whole video campaign was in the perspective of a child. So like you could see the model is always like towering over the camera, and she's like talking like while crouching. So it feels like I'm her son or daughter, and then she's my mom, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" Or like, "Boo," you know. Or it's just nice to see that kind of like advertising nowadays. You feel like relatable when you see that, especially like people like me who are like stepping into this adulthood world where we're like 100% more independent now, and we're going to say goodbye to the comfiness that we have with our family. So this kind of like touching campaign really makes me emotional. Really, yesterday when I saw it, I was like, this is really good. Like, I love this. This is my new favorite ad campaign now.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of cultural nuances here in Malaysia that are used to craft brand stories.
Right.
You can, as you mentioned just now, but this fashion brand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see the role of public relations evolving in the marketing and communications context?
I think as we go into like a more digital environment, we would have to adapt to a lot of new technologies, new strategies as well. So like old strategies, sometimes people say old is gold, but yes, old is gold. You can always go back to the basics, but there are different ways of like reaching that goodness. So I think we just have to keep exploring different ways of how people think, different mindsets. And then sometimes it's a lot about people behind the scene, like who are they? And who are the audiences to them? So I think it's a lot of like trying to come to a mutual understanding, at the same time using what we have now, the more newer side of technology, and then use it to convey the message.
Which is the tech platform that you find very exciting?
For me personally, I like using social media, of course, but I would say that Instagram and TikTok would be my most favorite, and I think they're the most relevant with the current generation. So I love it when I see a lot of brands finally coming into the platform and making and like growing their platform even. So like they have a name on these platforms. And I think like that's one way of showing brand visibility to the newer generations, whether it's Gen Z, Gen Alpha. I mean, it's also still relevant to the older generations, because as long as it's out there and you see it and people interact with it, then that's good.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We wish you well, Adlyn.
Thank you.
You certainly have the energy and the zest for this business. You may find that the beginning part may be difficult, as you mentioned, about your experience at the internship.
Right.
But rewarding it definitely is. it's a very satisfying.
Very rewarding. I feel so fulfilled every time I make new progress each day, each week. There's always something to look forward to as well.
Amazing. Well done. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking to Adlyn. And till our next episode, thank you.